At outset, I would like to thank SSMB team and expert committee for continuing this legacy of Steel Day. Even last year, I was participating in this event. This platform provides a great opportunity to exchange learnings, ideas, and collaborate. In this event, various part of the ecosystem is present, be it fabricators, architects, consultants, steel manufacturers, government officials, those who make policies, take guidance. In fact, today morning we had a very excellent session with Secretary of Steel. Over the years, we have also seen improvement in this particular event. And every year, a new facade is added. I would also like to thank the team for inviting me and giving opportunity to speak. To me, visiting places and seeing monuments have been my hobby, and I wish to see some 100+ ancient temples in my country. These always fascinate how architects that time used to achieve those wonders. And many of those monuments have lived the time. They have faced many difficult times and still standing there. Across the world, and even India and Maharashtra itself, we have many things. Whenever I went to Calcutta and see Howrah Bridge, we always used to recall the steel comes from us, from Tata Steel. But it's a very fascinating structure. You see Eiffel Tower, look at Pisa, you look at Giza, you look at Taj Mahal. On the other hand, in the modern times, you go to Dubai and see the Burj Khalifa. In India, you talk about skyscrapers of Mumbai, and now the Atal Setu. Today, when I travel, I could not imagine I'll reach from Navi Mumbai to this place in 40 minutes. It has changed. Things are changing. And most of you are making this change to happen. However, in modern time, you can't imagine construction without steel. Though I understand steel is still 15% to 17% of the total cost construction expenses. And today, possibly, we are discussing how to increase this. But question should be not how to increase, question should be why it should be increased. What kind of value does it offer to make it attractive to increase steel? I would like to touch upon 3 aspects today. One is technology, second is sustainability, and third is how to learn from peer industry, especially auto industry, in the construction. About a year ago, my son asked me, Papa, did you buy something in metaverse? I was totally confused. What is this metaverse? Then he explained, metaverse is an imaginary world. There are cities, there are houses, there are places you can buy house, you can even buy city. You can have your own country in metaverse, totally confused. And then in Facebook, you start seeing pictures which says how AI imagined Mumbai 20 years from now. How AI imagined your house 20 years from now. So AI is imagining how our cities should look like, how our houses should look like. And everybody wants to see it. Are we ready? Whatever we are building today will be there for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. What will happen to imaginations being done today? Because whatever you create will be there for next 20, 30 years. Are we so prepared that so imaginative construction of tomorrow is created today? When I move through Mumbai, I see these metro lines being constructed for many years. And I recall 1998 in my visit to Japan. Around 10 p.m. I saw construction started happening on the road, something was getting repaired. And 6 a.m. there was nothing, everything was normal. Is it happening in India now? Not yet. I'm talking about 20 years back in Japan. Not yet the speed we can see in India. There could be examples. We did discuss today morning also many examples, but are we able to scale up those examples? Here the technology should play a role. Can each small entity lead to that kind of a scalability of technology? Possibly no. The collaboration will play the role. How do we all collaborate? Will the annual event help? Will the monthly event help? Will the subcommittees help? We all need to think. Second thing I see is in my housing colony last year, we had 3-4 times water cut, and we were struggling. On the other hand, we know we are consuming 2 times the water average requirement. And the day there is a water cut, you are into problem. We started discussing the flush gets stuck. One house flush getting stuck consumes entire building water in a day. Are we designing our building with technology which can avoid such problems? Many of you must have heard of IoT. Is your construction using IoT to make it sustainable? Can every consumption of every parameter is known? Can IoT be used to detect stresses in the building, which will early warn you that this building requires this kind of work so that it gives life of more than 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, instead of collapsing in 10 years? Can technology be used for that kind of purpose? We can use technology. You have heard lots of imaginative and real example of use of drones to make it fast, make it safe. You can use AI and ML to have a camera feed and detect if the workers are having fatigue. If a worker is about to get into some accident, it can predict. Can we use those kind of technology in our construction field? On sustainability, I think all of us agree more than ever. Yesterday was another warning. Mumbai had another very hot day. So what are we doing for it? Today we were discussing construction with concrete is having lots of challenges. Getting material is a challenge, but wherever you construct or deconstruct, you create environment pollution. Whereas steel offers that whatever environment-related challenges you have, you can do it at a separate place and manage it well, and at the place of installation on site, you can manage with less pollution. But is that the only concern? Are we all concerned about ecosystem? Are we also concerned about biodiversity in the area we work on, we operate with? Are we damaging the biodiversity? What kind of effort we are making to restore that biodiversity? Just to give an example, in my factory, we just installed a butterfly garden. Now it has become my ritual every day morning, 9:30 a.m. I have a meeting, which I now do online. And now I walk around the butterfly garden to see which all butterflies are there. Surprisingly, within 10 days, in addition to the butterflies, I have multiple birds coming there, which I never imagined earlier. So what kind of effort being done by construction community across the projects to not only reduce the damage of biodiversity, but to also restore the biodiversity? As I said, I am fascinated with many ancient structures, but I'm also worried with the stories of Dwarka and the stories of Mohenjo-daro. These are the stories where the entire city got lost to the nature. And we are talking about extreme weathers now coming in. Are we preparing ourselves? Are we designing our cities, our infrastructure, which will stand the time, challenge of the time? Or are we preparing for next Dwarka or Mohenjo-daro? How soon it will happen, no one can predict today. Because at least I could not imagine Mumbai having 42 degrees centigrade, 43 degrees centigrade so frequently. I come from Jharkhand, I thought this area would be cool. We see there 46, 47. I thought it will be 35. It's unbearable with the humidity. Now coming to auto industry, today we were talking about that cost of steel in the construction is always rising, is high. Automobile has no option but to use steel. About 4 years back, I met one of district collector. And there I was just casually talking and discussed that I'm trying to learn Marathi. Coming from Jharkhand, I don't know, but I want to learn Marathi. And she said, you won't be able to. I said, why? Then she says, everybody in Maharashtra speaks in Hindi. They understand Hindi, and you're a Hindi-speaking person. You will not be forced to learn Marathi. That's a challenge with the construction industry. There are easy options available. Hence, the construction will never be forced to use steel only and will not be participating in the long-term working future readiness. Whereas auto industry is forced to use only steel, and hence they're always future ready. They're always working for next 5 years, 7 years, 10 years with not only steel industry, but all their entire ecosystem of vendor partners, how to be ready with the same cost, but added feature, better safety, better fuel economy 10 years from now. They are preparing the ecosystem. Is construction industry preparing the ecosystem? I still recall high-strength steel development in Tata Steel. And the first challenge was, can we weld? Are we ready to weld those steels in auto companies? Last year when I was here, we were discussing exactly same problem. Yes, high-strength steel are available. Can we weld? Are we having connectors available? Point is, are we preparing ourselves for future? Or are we just imagining somebody will solve our problem? Even today, in the morning, we tried to say advocacy. It's not advocacy. I don't think we are buying luxury car because of advocacy. I don't think we are buying car with safety features because of advocacy. No. Just because we want it. That's why we are buying it. As a community, we need to make sure that everybody finds it attractive to use steel-based structures. It has to make sense, but it will make sense if we make effort. And nobody will make effort for us. Collectively, we'll have to find something within us. We all know about India's story. We all think it will grow fast. It will. It will be on autopilot. But if we are not ready, we may fall. About 2 months back, I had my first half marathon. And when I was running, sometime you have to go uphill, sometime downhill. Downhill gives you autopilot, but it also provides a danger. You will fall if you're not controlled or roads are not right. If roads are not right, if you fall with major accident. And that's where steel industry along with construction industry can play a role in keeping the track ready for Indian growth engine to run fast. But it will not happen on its own. Good part is that we have lots of peer countries who have already done it in the past. We can easily learn from them. Collaborating now with all those countries are very easy because it's in their interest to come to India and take benefit of Indian growth story. I'm sure ISCC would create more forums like this to explore and collaborate. And the way we discussed in the morning, there may be some more teams who will work and say why those sample cases can be scaled and what needs to be done to scale the examples of steel use cases. Coming to steel industry, I think all of you know all the steel large players in India have announced their expansion plans. Not only announced, they are displaying their growth. Every now and then you would know 5 million ton, 4 million ton, 3 million ton units coming up. All the steel companies have also committed to sustainability like CO2, carbon neutrality, water neutrality. These are and they are making real serious effort. You must have heard our chairman saying by 2030, 70% of our power will be green power in the group. Yes, we are making effort. Tata Steel already signed a 350 megawatt green power agreement with Tata Powers, which will be available next year. Means everybody is making effort, getting ready. We are getting ready for whatever you want, but you will have to collaborate with steel companies, what you want and how. For example, large dia pipe I make, I always get complaint from all my customer, I supply you material late. But why can't we all collaborate and make it a commodity, always available of the shelf? There are two kind of SKUs you need. One is large volume, another is very small volume. They can be all commoditized. Company, for example, we are also to have a sustainability impact. Tata Steel is also entered into recycling business. Moreover, we are also into non-steel material as well. For example, we are also into FRP. Likewise, we all together need to develop ecosystem which will, for example, today morning there was a discussion why in India, till date, off the shelf trusses are not available. If it becomes available, can it revolutionize the house making in semi-urban or rural sector? Possibly, yes. About 1 year back, one of my colleague from HPCL said, why don't you make prefab rebars for road construction? It will speed up the job. Yes, we are doing it. Now country has many large players in steel, which is good for each one of us. It will make things more available, and that's good story. I would like to finish my talk here. Thank you very much, and look forward to listening to all of you here. Thank you once again.